I'm Gabby.
And I'm Shanna.
And we're 27 Travels.
And today we're going to do a highly requested video for you all. We're going to react to your assumptions about us.
So basically we put a question box on Instagram asking everybody to leave some assumptions you may have about us from just like following us online. It could be anything, and a bunch of people sent in a bunch of fun suggestions.
So we're going to read them off our phone and tell you if they're true or not true, and like react to like what you think about us. Also, we're in our office actually. We don't typically film in here, but we thought maybe we'd change it up just for this video and just to see if we like this background. So let us know what you think.
I like it so far.
I like it.
If you like it, we might be doing some more videos in here, not just in our bedroom, which is what we normally do whenever we do like a sit down style video. But you know, like we're spontaneous, so we're gonna be switching it up.
All right, first assumption. You'd never move from NYC except for maybe Curacao.
I think that this is true. Like, I think it's a true assumption. Like, we are born and bred New Yorkers. We love New York. And even though we love to travel and we like want to travel the whole entire world, I think like when it comes to like living somewhere, NYC is really our home.
Yeah, I don't know if like we could see ourselves like living anywhere else. And we always said if we did live somewhere else, we would probably like try and buy a property in Curacao and then like live there for half the year. Like when it's like cold and winter in New York City, then we can like go to Curacao and come back. So I think that one's pretty true. Permanently, yeah. I don't think we could ever live anywhere but New York City, just because we're both from here. Like our families are here, our friends are here, and it's like the best city in the world. So like anytime we go somewhere else, like this place is so cool, but do we want to live here?
Yeah, I feel like Shanna and I always come home and we feel like we're home, and like we have this sense of like knowing that we both love living here. So we're not actively seeking to live anywhere else, so that assumption is definitely accurate. Okay, the next assumption is you like dogs and cats. Correct, but cats are better.
Yeah, I grew up with a dog, and before I started dating Gabby, I actually didn't really like cats at all. I'm actually allergic to cats. I don't know if you all knew that, but for some reason I either got used to Rascal or he doesn't like make me allergic for like his breed or something. I don't know.
I think it's that Shanna now loves cats so much. Like she didn't, and now she does. She learned to love cats so much that like the allergy cannot stop her. She could be having a full episode ignored because cats.
And also there's like a cat at the laundromat near us, and we always pet it or whatever, and that one makes me super allergic, so I have to tell Gabby like do not let me touch my eyes because if I pet the laundry cat, I have an allergy attack. But yeah, I think we love all animals in general. Like we just love any kind of animal. Like in terms of having a pet, I don't think we would ever want a dog as a pet just because they're a little too much responsibility for like our lifestyle, and we're just more cat people. I got trained to be a cat person.
Cat people for life.
Okay, so the next one is that you're rich or well off financially.
We wish.
Literally, we wish. I would say in terms of like money, like Gabby and I are like stable. Like we try not to spend a lot of money, but we also don't save a ton of money either.
No.
Like, and all of our money that we do like spend is usually on things that we really want to do, like trips or travel or something that we like really want to upgrade in our apartment. Like we typically don't just like willy-nilly spend like a ton of money on like random things.
No. We kind of like live year to year, you know, like this year we're doing better than previous years, but we've also had years where we were like completely broke, like to the point of like barely being able to afford like food on a trip when we were somewhere or whatnot. I mean, luckily everything all worked out, but like we both are freelancers, we have many jobs, and we work a lot. Shanna is a videographer professionally, and I'm a photographer and a nail technician, which in the past, like we would be doing 27 Travels, and Shanna would be doing videography, and Shanna would be doing editing jobs, and I would be doing nail jobs and fashion week on top of doing photography work. So we really like have done everything. Shanna and I even have both done food photography.
Yeah, like, we even at one point, like right before COVID happened, we even like worked for Postmates, like delivering food, because at that point, like all of our jobs in the future, freelance, 27 Travels, otherwise had all gotten canceled, so we had no money coming in, and when you're a freelancer, that's all you have is your future work to guarantee you money. So when all that got canceled, me and Gab were like, what the heck are we gonna do? So we actually worked for Postmates for a little bit, delivering food around New York City. I have a car, luckily, so it was a little bit easier for me to deliver food, but Gabby does not have a driver's license and cannot really ride a bike. So,
I can ride a bike. I can't holding food.
Or a city bike. Like that's a little bit dangerous, I think. So
I would get in Shanna's car while she was delivering her orders and then walk the rest of the way to do my orders. I'd be like, I'm on walk mode.
Yeah, I would take her like halfway.
Yeah, so that was fun.
Yeah, so we are definitely not well off or rich. And if you're saying that because we go on like these like trips or whatever, like a lot of trips we do for work and trips we don't do for work, we pay for ourselves, but we go to places where it's like cheap to travel to. Like we went to Mexico when we were basically broke. We had no money, but everything there is super cheap, so we weren't spending a lot of money. We also went to the Philippines when we were super broke, and everything there is also super cheap. So like there are ways to travel when you don't have a lot of money. You just kind of have to be smart about what places you're going to and like how you're going to spend your money, etc.
I mean, I will say that I 100% understand where this assumption comes from. I mean, like we do live a certain kind of lifestyle. We do travel a lot. We
live in New York City.
We live in New York City. I think we have pretty cool fashion sense, but like I will say that the assumption is not true. Shanna and I, we thrift our clothes. We have an affordable apartment. We take time to decorate things because we wait to have the money to do things. And not to mention, we always have made really smart decisions while traveling.
Also, my car is a 2005 Toyota Camry with duct tape all over it, so that just tells you everything you need to know about our financial situation. Okay, the next one. I hope this doesn't come across the wrong way, but that you never get depressed. I think we probably have different answers for this one. I typically don't get depressed, or at least I don't think I do. Like I've never had the feelings that most people describe as depression. I think I've just dealt with my emotions differently my whole life. I typically don't get sad, right?
No,
I don't think I get sad about things. Like I think I'm the kind of person that's like, okay, something's wrong, let me figure out a way to fix it.
So basically this assumption is right about Shanna. She does not get depressed, but this assumption for me is definitely wrong. I am a sensitive person. I definitely get depressed, and throughout my life have always been that way. Like I always have had feelings of being like up and then a little more down depending on the situation. And I think Shanna knows from being my girlfriend that there are definitely times when I get depressed and when things get me down and when I just need to like shut everything off and like focus on taking care of myself and making sure that I'm happy and feeling content in life. Y'all always seem so busy and juggling so many tasks. Not an assumption, but how do you do it? I mean, I guess it kind of is an assumption because you are assuming that we're always busy, which is actually a true assumption.
Very true.
Shanna and I are currently in life incredibly busy. Obviously we have times where things are a little bit less busy, but I think just doing what we do, like doing social media, you're incredibly busy because it's like we aren't just on one platform, we're on many, many platforms, whether it's YouTube or TikTok or Instagram and
Pinterest, Facebook, Twitter.
Yeah, that does take quite a lot of juggling. I think that for us, what helps is that like, you know, Shanna and I in our business do very different tasks. So like, even though there's certain things that we both do, Shanna might write an Instagram caption and I might do all the stories, and sometimes maybe we both help with that. But for the most part, we have different things that each of us do. Like for example, I don't edit the YouTube videos. Shanna completely edits the YouTube videos on her own, whereas I edit all the photos that we take. So that's never something that she is spending her time doing, and vice versa. But I think another important thing is also that we give ourselves, when we're burnt out, the time that we need so that we don't get burnt out. Like we make sure that we have days where we do everything in one day and other days where we make sure that we're relaxing and walking to the park and spending time together, and we make sure that when we can, if it's like 6 o'clock and we're still working, like maybe we should stop right now and let this be a problem for tomorrow. So we take care of our mental health.
In terms of juggling things, I think you need to find the right balance, and that balance could be whatever works for you. Like what works for us is dividing our tasks in the way that we're good at stuff. So like Gabby was saying, like I do video, she does photo, but also like in the admin part of our business, like I do a lot of like answering emails and, you know, reading contracts and things like that, and Gabby kind of does a little bit more of the creative side of things. So I think kind of you need to find whatever works for you, but I do think that dividing up the stuff and like not one person having to do everything is very helpful.
Yeah, and I think that what Shanna's bringing up right now is a good point. It's like you should always focus on the tasks that you're good at and that like you feel passionate about and that you enjoy doing, and other tasks like that you don't need to do all the time, maybe put those a little bit more on the back burner so that you're a little bit less busy.
The next one is Shannon. I said my name is Shannon. It's Shanna, so already wrong, but is not the financial planner. That's actually wrong.
Bad assumption.
I would actually say that Gabby and I are, in terms of math, both of us are not good at math or numbers or anything like that, which is kind of an issue in our business because we're just like, oh, we hope it just works out because we have no idea.
Without calculators, we would be hopeless. I went to summer school math.
I also got like a tutor for the math regents, but that might be like a New York thing, because I don't think they have regents in other states. But anyway, that's like a state test you take at the end of every year, and I'd have a tutor for mine. So there you go. But anyway, like I handle more of the admin stuff, like I was saying in the other question. So yes, like I do handle like the financial stuff and like in terms of like rates for our business or signing contracts, things like that. But anything having to do with like taxes or money or whatever, we just send that all to our accountant.
Yeah, Shanna and I like to say,
we have a guy. We have a tax guy. We have a guy.
That's the answer to all of our problems.
Yeah. This actually goes back to the question of like, how do you like get things done if you're really busy? If there's something you can't do sometimes in life, it's better to
hire someone who's good at that.
Yeah,
and pay them for their service.
We can't do our own taxes. We learned this long ago. It's not possible, and we both are miserable. So why even go through that trouble? But moral of the story, we went way off topic because that's what happens to Shanna and I. We go like way off topic and get a little distracted. But Shanna is definitely more of the financial planner. I would say that I'm even worse at anything that involves paperwork. I'm the worst partner in that. It's just not gonna work out.
The next question is, you argue about interior decorating. That's a read.
That's a real read.
That's a real read, and that is.
Who said that?
I don't know, like a random person. That's 100% true. Actually, one of the first things that Gabby and I argued about when we first moved in together was interior decorating, and I think it's because like when you live on your own, like you don't have to think about another person's opinion when it comes to like furniture or decor, things like that, because like you live in your own room by yourself or whatever. Like even when I lived with roommates, like I had my own room, so like whatever was in the living room, I was like, yeah, sure, whatever, it's fine, I'll just decorate my room how I want. But like when Gabby and I moved in together, I assumed that we would have like similar taste in decor. Little did I know, I was completely wrong. We don't. Well, I would say now
we've blended.
We've blended. Yes, we have blended. But when we first moved in together, we disagreed on literally almost every single thing you could possibly disagree on in terms of interior decorating.
Okay, one, we didn't know that. Like that was like, you know, you move in together, you discover these kind of things about each other. And Shanna and I were like shook that we didn't have the same exact taste, right? We were shook. We were like, what do you mean you don't like that color? Like literally. But over time, so like in the beginning we did argue about like things that were interior decorating related. I think now that we've been living here longer, each room kind of has a different vibe, and we kind of like both agree with that vibe, and then we kind of go from there. Like for example, the room we're in now, the office, which ironically is the room that I spend the least amount of time in, is definitely the most my style, and I think that Shanna's fine with it being that way. It's a little more like colorful, creative, like whimsical is what I would say, like fun stuff, and like that is more my vibe, whereas our bedroom is like 100% Shanna's vibe. I like it too, but it's a little more like boho, cool, plants, trendy, and that's more Shanna's vibe. So I think that we've just figured out how to like blend things, and we for sure have gotten better at that, because like I can't remember right now the last time we argued about an interior design thing. It's more like we'll both make suggestions and like think on it.
Yeah. And so basically, to sum it all up, that was a read. That was 100% true.
Yeah, read.
Okay, this is the last one. Y'all will get married one day and it will be beautiful. We hope.
We hope so. We hope that that's true. I mean,
Gabby and I'm not sure if we talked about this in our YouTube video before. We talked about this a lot on our Instagram, but like our plan for our wedding is gonna be like super untraditional. Like when we do get married one day, we actually wanna elope with just us. I actually don't even know if we even want anyone else to be there. And then after that, it could be months or years, whatever, after that, we want to have like kind of like a big party, but not like a wedding where it's like a reception and you know, like nothing traditional, nothing typical, just kind of like a big party to like celebrate, but it won't necessarily be like immediately after we elope or anything.
No, like we would want like it to elope and it be all about us, and then to have like a legitimate celebration like of our relationship that's like not necessarily just about us, but it's just about like celebrating with other people that we care about.
Yeah, because we've been together for 6 years now, and like a lot of our like growing up and our lives together include so many other people, because we've been together for so long. Like there's so many people who we would want to be a part, who have been a part of our relationship and are parts of our lives that we would want to be there. And like the stress of planning a traditional wedding is too insane, it's too expensive, and it's honestly not really what we want. Like you all know, Gabby and I are not traditional people. We don't live a traditional lifestyle at all, and we don't want a traditional wedding. Like we truly don't want that, and we just want to be happy and be together, and that's why we're not in any rush to even elope or get married, because we're like, we know we're gonna be together. Like it's like we don't need like a big celebration or whatever to like prove that like we're gonna be together. Like we know we're gonna be together, and we do want to get married one day, but we just want it to be like the right time and the right like circumstances and everything.
Like for us, we're both the kind of people that everything needs to feel right. It needs to feel right. It needs to feel like we're doing it the right way. And yeah, we're not traditional at all. We go to all of these traditional weddings and we're just like, we would never do that. that.
Yeah.
So basically, not gonna happen.
Yeah, we'll be beautiful, hopefully.
No matter what, it will be beautiful.
All right, but that was it. That was all the assumptions that we are gonna react to today. That was really fun, actually. I like seeing what people like thought about us from our social media presence, because like when you have a presence online, like obviously we only showcase like a certain part of our lives. Like we don't showcase, you know, every single thing we do. So it's like, I think we can come across a certain way because we're only showing certain things. So it's kind of cool to see what people assume about us.
Yeah, but it is interesting, and it is like, I understand where all of the assumptions came from. So to me, I'm like, okay, that means that's good, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, it all makes sense. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you'll see us in the next video.
Bye.
Bye.